Right, I'm back in Birmingham. I've got an hour and a half and thought I'd get up early, just nip through the city before I move on. If you've seen the first video, it'll make a bit more sense, but I said at the time we got a lot of bites that didn't connect last time we were here, so I've come back with a very small sort of 1.5 inch shad, 3 gram rod, real finesse fishing, and I'm just going to see what I can do. I've got no expectations. The fish may bite, they may not, but I'm going to see how many fish I can put together. Got an hour and a half and let's get to it. Right, so I'm heading back onto the canal where we got on last time. So I don't, if you saw the first video, we started underneath this bridge, typical sort of railway arch bridge out of the city. It's not the best of places once the city comes alive. I don't know if you saw the guys at the back end of the last video, but want to get in here, fish, and then get back out and before the city wakes. First thing I've noticed, there's not quite as much visibility on the canal. It's probably about a foot, whereas it was a bit clearer than last time, but shouldn't make much of a difference. Straight into a fish, first cast, oh, it's off. Typical first cast, phone started ringing, and it's John. Start again. So first cast I actually hit into a fish, but my phone rang and it was John. John didn't want to come out today because he didn't want to get his hair wet because there's been a bit of a drizzle. Quite amusingly, first cast has taken the tail off my shad, so I don't know what that was, whether it was a pike or maybe a rogue zander, I don't know, or it could have just been a perch banging away at the back, but I'm going to get re-rigged and then get back out there. Before CRT get overly excited about that as well, I've never heard of any zander from this canal this far up, so don't bother electro fishing it. It was a joke. So we start again. First cast proper, I'm not going to ignore the phone if it rings again. Oh, that was a fish. Oh, that was on and off. It's a good sign the fish are there. I'm not happy with not hooking either of those though. We are fishing a lot smaller today, so they must have been very small perch. Right, got that one that time. Fish number 1. So just turn it because of the light. So these are the guys that I wasn't hooking last time when I was fishing. So I was fishing a 2-inch lure with a bigger hook last time. So today I've scaled down. I'm just fishing for bites, you know. I had some nice, well, I had a couple of nice fish on the last session, but this time it's just about fishing for them bites, just see how many small perch we can put out, but I've no expectation really. go. It's another one. I just changed the angle of where I was fishing then for that cast after that fish, because I saw a fish jump when I was releasing the other one. Not going to mess about here. I'm just going to get them back. See what we can do. The technique you're going to see me using is quite a simple one. So a lot of people will call this a 2-turn drop, and what I'm doing is sort of twitching the lure, turning my reel twice, and then letting the lure fall to hit the bottom on a tight line. Turn, and then let the lure fall. Turn, let the lure fall. Always on that tight line so you can pick up that bite on the drop. Now these are only small fish. You don't, with a sharp hook, you don't need to move the tip much to set the hook. But if you notice that bite on the drop, a little flick of the wrist and the fish is hooked. There's another one. Fish number 3. Again, these are pristine, these small perch. Probably never seen a hook before. Get that one back. Go again, see if we can catch another. Although I think this bit's going to be pretty good, I'm a bit worried about the bikes shooting back and forth now. A lot of people are on the commute to work, so I'll have a quick cast in and I think I'm going to have to move on. What I want to try and do up here is fish under some of the locks, fish right tight to the lock mouths. You tend to get a lot of perch sort of hanging around at the lock mouths themselves. There's a couple of reasons why there. You've got definitely under bridges, historically people, well, forever, even me as a kid, people throw things off bridges, so people will be throwing stuff and there'll be all sorts of underwater structure sort of down here. You've also got the sill, which is a drop off for the lock, and it's like a man-made like shelf. Oh, I've just had a bite that I've missed. Hooked it. There we go. So yeah, there's usually like a man-made drop off, which they call the sill, which just gives like a deeper depth to the canal, to the lock. And the fish often sit off the back of that as well. You normally can find where the sill is. It's usually painted on the canal. On top of the lock itself. I can't actually see any markings on this one, but there will be a drop off down there. So we'll have another cast down under that bridge. That's 4 perch in about 15 minutes, and that was number 5 on and off. Just check the shad. What they're doing, these fish are all tiny and they're grabbing at the back of the tail, so they're not always hitting the hook. There you go, got him that time. That's number 5. He's really taking it. Ooh. Come on, there you come. Pristine fish. They really are pretty fish for considering the surroundings. Oh, in and out of another one then. And again. Yeah, so it's doing exactly what I thought. It's just hitting the back of the lure. Not always getting the hook. You could scale down even further still, but honestly I don't think there's any need. Doesn't all have to be cast and retrieve either. You can keep using a paddle tail, or you can switch to a pintail and just do a bit of dibbling. What the lads call it. I think it was like Eric Waite and the boys that first coined the phrase dibbling. And it's just working the lure down the margin under your feet, mooching along. Just spooked a fish down there. So there are fish in the lock. So the locks will be the deepest part of the canal that you'll actually find, simply because of the water displacement. With them going up and down, they need the extra depth. Yep, there's one. Number 6. Let's have a look at this one. Put your fin up. Right. This one's been in a bit of a fight somewhere before. Let's get him back. Before I move, drop back in straight into another fish. I was going to tell you a story then about how I always wanted to work in the city, but I ended up moving away to the coast. Number 7. Let go. Beautiful. So all I've done back then, I was going to kind of walk away from the lock itself, so I've just cast behind me to like walk troll, I guess, the lure. I've just cast it down, let it hit the bottom. I'm just walk trolling the lure, so the little paddle tail's beating away as I'm walking, providing just enough action for that fish. Oh, and another one. I'm losing track already. Is this number 7 or is it number 8? I think it's number 8. So I'm fish number 8. He took it well. And I'm going to swim one back here now, because I think there's quite a few perch in this lock itself. Oh, just had another bite. Got him. Ah! Didn't hook him. Wonder if he's still there. Oh, hit it again. If you saw that on the tip or not there. Probably find he's pulled the shad right down the jig head now. That's all right. I'm not going to climb over there today, but these little back cuttings are good. So little overflows where they pump the water back and forth. The overflow, if there's an over sort of flow of water into the lot rather than it flooding over the side, runs down the back. And then when there's not enough, it gets pumped back in. I think I've just had a line bite there. Yeah, I'm getting a line bites. There must be a few bait fish in that margin there. Number 9. Number 9's a stripey arm. A huge eye. Oh, he's bigger than his belly, bless him. Number 10 nearly ran me to ground there. He got stuck in some reeds. Slightly bigger fish, and he's absolutely engulfed it. When I say slightly bigger, only just. Just going to do a bit of surgery on this one to get it out. There we go. That's number 10. He's already starting to get a pair of shoulders on him, that one. He's going to be a bit of a big one when he gets older. Oh, there's one on and off there. Seems to be sitting right off, which is typical ambush point really. We've got some sort of grassy, reedy type things. Just giving them the little ambush structure. You've also got the concrete, like the canal wall. What I'm going to do is just walk with a rod, still in the water. And I want to just focus, because I haven't got a lot of time. I want to focus my time around the structure, so I want to get to the lock mouths. There's going to be fish all around this here, but it's the locks where I think I'm going to get a bigger concentration of fish. Now this is a bigger pound, and if I'm looking at a lock pound like this, where are they going to be? I'm expecting them to be under that bridge. I am just going to walk slowly though with this up the margin, just to see if I can pick anything up. I think I just lifted that under his chin. Yeah. Ah! On and off. I thought it was there. I lifted it up on his chin. I must have got it. Oh no, he's on and off again. It's tiny, tiny fish. Again. Can't be the brightest fish. I've connected with him 4 times now. I'm still having a go. And again, missed him. Right, last time. One more chance, little fishy. Oh. Again. I don't think he's coming back. Oh, he did. Move on, I ain't got time for him. I think I got him. Just swimming it away from him. Encouraged him to chase and engulf the whole thing. That's number 11, I think. Let's get him back. What are we doing for time? So we've not been here an hour yet. We've had 11 fish. I don't know, specimen hunters, you know, this really isn't a video for you because you'll probably be thinking, what's the point? But I've got an hour and a half and I want to get a fishing fix. I've had 11 fish so far. It's decent. Number 12 was coming in then. He wasn't actually hooked, he was just on the back of the lure. See, he pulled it down. Whoop. Yeah, look, I was never aiming to catch big fish here. It was to just see what we could do with a little small fish. I've got bad angling. I don't think he was hooked. Well, he obviously wasn't hooked, but So in that drop off we were talking about there seems to be a collection of small perch. I'm actually just going to check the hook point because no, he's pulled it down again. No, the hook's pretty good. Hook's plenty sharp enough, it's just they're not hitting the point. I'm going to stop counting now because I'm losing track myself, but it's either 12 or 13. Do a bit of an unhook. There we go. All peas in a pod. Now, technically, you're not meant to fish within so many metres of the canal. Oh, I've got a bite straight away. Oh, it's come off. You're not supposed to fish in the locks or the entrances to the locks, but I think that's more aimed at kind of matchmen and people that are going to sit there with their like permanent fishing setup. I think as long as it's about etiquette, you know, there's no boats around, I'm not hurting anyone, and as long as you give way to every boat user and a courteous, I don't think there's any issue really. I don't see any issue. I've certainly never been moved on by the CRT on any quieter canals. Is that not just a good life lesson anyway? I think if you're courteous, then generally people are good back to you. It's about respect. Completely lost count of the number of fish. I think it's 13 or 14 there. How good does this little bit look back here? Forget the litter, we can see through that. It's still beautiful with all the small lily pads. Well, I'm not sure what they are actually. Smaller than lilies. Just cast behind me again. I'm just going to let it swim back. I want to get underneath this interesting structure here. I think it's flats or maybe a hotel or something now. But I had a couple of bites under there last time when I was fishing a slightly larger lure and I couldn't hook them, so I'll just see if I can get them because they're really kind of like proper man-made, even more man-made than the canal. The structure kind of going into them and just look good. Oh. Not before one more from the lock mouth. Well, not lock mouth, from the lock. You see the sill markers that we was talking about earlier as well? Now I know this is going to be really snaggy, but I've got to have a cast across here. It just looks great. Hey. Not sure what number that is again. Who cares? It's this type of structure I was really interested in. Got like some supporting structure going into the canal, and it's made like a little alleyway for the fish. Right, so I'm just over halfway through. I'm gonna start heading back to the car now. I made it up as far as kind of Gas Street base, and there's a couple of locks up. Birmingham Library's sort of kind of behind that high-rise block of flats there, so you get an idea where I am. It's been okay, it's been good. I think I've had 14 or 15 fish, I lost count. As I've got closer to town, the bites have dried up a little bit. I'm going to move out, try and pick up a few fish from the locks on the way back. But I've enjoyed it, you know, for the hour and a half that I've got to fish this morning. You know, even if I finish on 14 or 15 fish, it still kind of scratched that itch. So I hope you enjoyed it up to here anyway. I'm not expecting anything any bigger than I've already caught on the way back. I'm using the same jig head, same lure. I'm just going to see if I can catch any more. Maybe get that total to 20 by the time we finish. I'll see you on the other side. Oh, isn't this typical of city fishing? I have got a fish here. They also caught a carrier bag on the way in. Oh man, let's get the fish back and I'll deal with the bag. They've got really big eyes, these perch, for some reason. I'm going to just change the shad here. Do you know what? I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but I'm going to be swimming this past some fish that I've already fished to, so just putting something slightly different in front of them may make a difference. Light levels also changed. Sun's come up quite a bit in that hour. Though it's overcast, it's a lot brighter. I've gone with a non-UV. Again, I've really no idea how much difference it's going to make, but we shall see. I'm not quite sure you can pick it up on the camera, but there's quite a visible current running through the canal now. Where they've opened the locks, it's pushing a lot of water down the canal. And I just wonder if that's going to affect the fish's behaviour, whether it's going to push the fish into shelter. And you can tell from the reeds there that the water's coming down. It started pushing them back. About 15 or 16 perch. So that's all right. Back where we started. It's absolutely stunning. Colours on the cheek of that fish. It's almost got like a purple sheen to it, this fish. Beautiful. Let's get him back. Another one. Right, I'm back at the car to keep it short and sweet. I think I only had about 4 or 5 fish on the way back. I didn't end up fishing as much as I wanted to. I stopped and spoke to one of the CRT guys on the canal just to have a chat about the fishing and the canal network. Hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any suggestions where I should go next, drop it in the comment below. I think I'm going to go to London, try and tick off some of the big cities, maybe London, Manchester, and then take it from there really. As I say, if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and then any comments, just drop them in the box below. Thanks for watching.